Kyle Financial and Strathclyde House Buyers. Kyle Financial are proud supporters of local communities and specialise in helping you protect what matters most. For your family, your lifestyle and even your income, they have it covered. Kyle Financial are now offering free wills, regardless of whether or not you need any other service. Go check them out on their website www.kyle-financial.co.uk or check them out on Facebook, Twitter or even Instagram. Strathclyde House Buyers are a local property solutions company who specialise in helping people sell their property quickly with no fees. If you or anyone you know are looking for a fast, stress-free sale, check them out on their website www.strathclydehousebuyers.com, on Facebook or on Instagram. Well, first of all, happy birthday, Ravie Davie. What's happening, man?
What's happening to us? Cheers, thank you very much, mate. 28 years young today. Well, I don't feel 28 years young, I feel fucking 58 years old, man. Honestly, body's feeling it today, man. Because I've stopped, I was, what was I doing? I was playing football last Thursday. I know it seems, it's nearly a week away, man, but I've never played 11s in about 4 years' time, man, so my body's just not recovered, you know what I mean, for doing it, so... my back and my neck is a wee bit sore and all just because I've had a shite sleep last night. But apart from that, I'm doing good, you know what I mean?
Like this is like that, this is your life segment with Mick Foley and The Rock.
I just come out and tell you got to bring out my Manti Cafe or something like that.
I said, we've got cake in that bag there, a caterpillar cake. You want like that, get a caterpillar cake and I got a caterpillar cake.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. As I was saying before, man, you're the first person to get me a present for my birthday, so you're a legend, mate. Appreciated.
No, actually, see, as I was on the here, I was like, I should have get fucking somebody for family to turn up or something like that and make it in the.
Would you say sorry?
I was like, see, as I was coming here, I thought to myself, I should have got somebody for your family to turn up or something.
Aye, mate, I've only got three people.
Like a PE teacher from back in the day or something like that. This guy was a dick.
No, to be fair, my PE teacher actually bumped into him not that long ago. I was going to pick my boy up for school and my PE teacher actually drove up to me and he's like, Davie, I've seen all your stuff, man. You're doing brilliant, man. That's fine. I was like, oh, cheers, mate. He's like, I seen you at football not long ago with your boy. I think your boy plays against my boy in the same league. I was like, oh, that's mental, mate. He's like, you need to come into the school and show all the ways, all your wrestling stuff and all that, and you need to basically tell them about how you're a bad boy, but you can turn your life through and stuff. I was like, I'd definitely be into that, you know what I mean? So I know I'm starting to think, yeah, I've got Mr. Reid kicking about here somewhere, not that you've said that.
You never know, mate. He could be hiding behind that couch and it'd pop out one time.
Oh, he's a big boy to be fair, you know what I mean? He was quite small, but he was built, you know what I mean? So I don't think he'd fit under the couch.
Fair enough. No, listen, this time next year, I'll think it through better. We get you back into your birthday again.
So it sounds like a plan to me. If I get a call on the caterpillar cake every year, man, for my birthday, I'm not going to knock that back, definitely, no.
I mean, M&S and all, best of gear.
Oh, mate. I said, you got M&S, man. I said to my missus, my mother-in-law, she works in M&S, she could get a discount.
Alright. Missed out on that, man. You owe me 20 quid.
Oh, come on, mate, it's my birthday.
No, listen, I was looking at all your stuff and you've had some amazing journey, mate. It was really quite unbelievable reading everything you've done and what you've been through and stuff like that. But I want to go to the less serious stuff first, right? See the rotten food reviews, right? See when I'm watching them, see that whistle that you do? It's so
the whistle.
Like mate, it kills me every time I'm watching it. I'm like I'm watching it and think I think I'd rather be able to do that than walk. If I could whistle like that, it would be the funniest thing ever.
See, so I'll try and show you. Right, see, I know you've obviously got wee gaps in your teeth, right? And I'm like, you've got like wee holes in your teeth. So you push. See, when you're talking, obviously you're pushing the words out your mouth. You try and just start. You're saying the S. You push it, so you do your mouth like a wee whistle like that. And you start pushing the S's out your bottom tooth. I think it's the bottom incisor, something like that, and it just starts whistling. It's hard to do. I learned it through Chewing the Fat. I was watching Chewing the Fat when I was younger, and they had that guy, the whistle guy, goes 6 sizzling sausages in a sizzling saucepan. Sorry, I know, by the way, anybody that's listening to this, because a lot of people the thing is, right, a lot of people love the whistle, right? A lot of people do love it. Because obviously they don't see it a lot, but see my missus, my wee boy, they hate it. They say it pierces right through their ears. It's the most annoying thing ever. Anytime I date my boy, he just turns and goes like that. Can you stop that? I'm like, sorry, wee man, honestly. But sometimes I know I end up just doing it by accident, like just because see if I date too much, I end up start whistling when I'm doing the S's out of nowhere, and it's quite, it's not uncontrollable. Obviously, I can switch it off, but I just end up forgetting about it.
No, it's like we've got such a creative mind with this stuff. Like, see, watching the producers, like, they've all made me laugh so much, mate. And I was just kind of wondering, how did you even come up with that idea?
Right, well, basically, so I'll take it back to the start. So obviously, when I started getting into wrestling,
James English.
no, when I started getting into wrestling, obviously, I thought I made funny videos and that before it, but I was like to myself, people don't really like wrestling, so I need to do like funny videos to try and get people in the door. Not, I mean, not everybody likes wrestling, but everybody likes comedy. And if you don't like comedy, I don't really want you coming to watch me anyway. Not when you're a face bastard. But so I was like to myself, right, what can I do? I started making videos, went very successful on Facebook, got like 25,000 followers, all that stuff. But then I done a heel turn in ICW. I was like, oh, you're a heel now, you can't be making funny videos, all that kind of stuff. I ended up fucking depressed at my farter cause it, know what I mean? Then I like wasn't being myself really, wasn't having a laugh online, wasn't doing anything like that, but just having to be the heel, know what I mean? Obviously just try to play my part right, but I just didn't enjoy it. So then lockdown came down, obviously wrestling was away for a bit and that, and TikTok had came out. I just started making videos on it, I was loving it. Obviously most of the videos I was doing, but it was because people were trying to get cheeky with me, and I'd just flag them back. And the way I always say, I don't fight fire with fire, I fight fire with petrol, know what I mean? If you come at me, we're both going up in flames, know what I mean? We're burning the full house down, man. I'll terrorise you, I don't care, know what I mean? I know a lot of people say, oh, you should stop being the trolls the time of the day, know what I mean? You'd be bigger than that. What do you mean? Kevin Durant, a basketball player who's top 5 basketball players in the world right now, replies to all his trolls, know what I mean, slaughters them, so I'm no different from him, know what I mean? That's the way I see it, know what I mean? Then I don't, because that's the way I know. I used to be a troll when I was younger, that's what these trolls don't realise either. They're messing with one of the biggest trolls ever, but at least when I done it, I just put my face out there and let people know it's me. I was wanting people to know it was me being the troll. So as I said, right, so I was getting slaughtering all these trolls. They were obviously trying to get me out for it, they're baiting me into it, and then they'd report me. So I started getting banned on TikTok here and there, and I'd been building a good following. I'd had like 12,000 followers, and I'd started getting onto the creator fund. That means you make a bit of money. Not a lot of money, but making money off something that I'd been doing for the last 8 years, making videos actually to make a bit of money off it. It felt good, not I mean, it was making my confidence and that get better. So I was like, right, I'd get banned, and it was like a 7-day ban, so I was gutted about it. I was like, I need to think of something. It's like, 'cause I like TikTok, I'm not going to stop using it, but I don't want to get permanently banned off it. So I need to come up with an idea. So I started like thinking, right, people like me making fun of stuff, right? But obviously I can't make fun of people, because then if I make fun of the people, they're going to obviously get me blocked, get me banned. So I started looking through, and I noticed everybody was loving food, you know what I mean? There was Rap God, he was making these raps, he had 1 million followers. There was like people making all these like heavy nice munchies, you know what I mean? Like dad does cooks or something, like he makes heavy, like he'll make salt and chili Chinese boxes and all that stuff like that, munchie boxes, and he's in house, and they're all looks brilliant. All these people get hundreds of followers for it and that. And then obviously Gordon Ramsay was duetting stuff, and he was just like terrorising like people's food and all that. So I was like, I'm going to incorporate all these together. I'm going to do Ravie Davie's rotten food reviews, know what I mean? I'm going to find places that are disgusting and going to rate them. And I was like, as well, and one of the biggest things I hate, right, I don't know if about yourselves, right, but there's nothing worse than when you watch a food review, when somebody does a food review and they tell you it's brilliant, not when you're like to myself, I looked class, I'm going to go there. You go spend about 40, 50 quid, and then it's fucking shite, know what I mean? Because the person that's done the food review, either been paid money to do it, or they've been getting, because it's a food review, they've been getting all the fresh stuff, not all the nice, beautiful stuff, and then they're obviously making money off your back. So I was getting sick of that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do rotten food reviews. But I hadn't had the idea to film. I'm trying to think what the word is. I wasn't going to just film it straight away. I was kind of leaving it in the back burner. I was going to wait, but then eventually I got my main account banned, the one I was talking about. I'd made a backup account because I had been getting banned, but so my main account had got banned. This is not a backup account to be fair, but my main account, the Ravie.Davie one, got banned for 7 days again. I was like, fuck this, you know what, raging. I actually done it in a bad mood. Finished wrestling training up at the asylum, went down to Best Kebab, because that was my plan for it. No, Best Kebab was always got to be the first place I was going to date, because you ever seen the thing on TripAdvisor back in the day, where people were rating getting Best Kebab like 1-star ratings and all, and the guy would comment on it like, fucking what you talk about and all that, it's your Moz Minges smelling and stuff like that, instead of taking feedback and trying to make their favourite place better, they'd just terrorise people, and they'd end up getting like a viral post because it. So I was like, I need to try this place. So obviously Best Kebab's right next to the asylum, so I walked in, Ravie's rotten food reviews, part 1, let's do it. Oh, Best Kebab, she's there in all glory. Went out, done it, the guy wouldn't let me film in it. which is actually quite good, because if a guy let me film inside, I'd have probably made the video longer than a minute, and if a video was longer than a minute, I don't think it'd have got as many hits. So I've posted the video, not even been thinking about it, I just went on, started going live, saying to people, oh, go and watch my latest video, know what I mean, see how you like it, let me know. And then I went after live, it was an hour later and it had 8,000 views. I was like, whoa, that's pretty mental, know what I mean? By the time I'd get home, it was up to like 30,000 there an hour later, and then I went to my bed, woke up, it was up at like 500,000. I was like, what the fuck, man, this is ridiculous, this is mental. And I went up and also I went to my bed, I had 1,000 followers. I woke up, I had 12,000 people following me, you know what I mean, just to have one video. I was like, this is mental. So I knew straight away, I'm on to a winner here, you know what I mean, this is something I need to do this, you know what I mean. So I was like, in the next video, done a second, I was like, where do you want me to go? Because I know I'm not just going to, like, it's a rotten food review, so you kind of need to have places that people are telling you are rotten, but there's a lot of people that just say to me, so people, there's one time somebody's like, go to this place, and I was like, where is it? He's told me, and there's hundreds of people going, what are you talking about? That place is nice. And then we guys like that, oh, I just wanted Ravie Davie to come in my place, not come to where I stayed. And I was like, fuck's sake, mate, I end up going here, not I mean, try to do a rotten food review and ends up the place is nice, and I've just wasted my time. Not wasted my time, to be fair, because people still like food reviews and that, but I'm basically trying to do what Gordon Ramsay does with Kitchen Nightmare, not I mean, when he goes into places and obviously he helps them change. I mean, obviously I haven't got the budget to go into these takeaways and help them change, but if I do a bad food review on them, maybe they'll start actually getting the better quality food in and actually serving better food, and not just having all the reheats and stuff like that for people. Because last week I actually done one with Blue Lagoon. Everybody said that Blue Lagoon's stinking, not I mean, the one outside Central Station.
No, mate, I think it's class. I think Blue Lagoon's one of the best ones to go if you get a chippy. I was shocked you for doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, that's the thing. Even though the rotten food review thing that's the good thing as well. I've built it up now that if I go somewhere and do a rotten food review and I like it, people have still got to watch the video. You know what I mean? So that's even if I try to change it. I try to do like Ravie's blunt reviews, and if I liked it, I'd say I liked it. If I didn't, I'd say I didn't. But I think I'm just going to I'm just going to have them under the rotten food review banner, and then people will probably watch it at the end, and then they'll see if I like it or no. That's a good thing about the Blue Lagoon one as well. But I'm actually happy it was nice, because it was just getting to a stage where I was like, people have probably just got to think I'm lying all the time. Know what I mean? I'm just going to all these places. I'm just, even if I do think they're nice, I'm just saying they're shite. Know what I mean? So it's good that I end up getting one that was actually nice. But that's basically how it happened. I felt like my back was against the wall, because TikTok are very strict on Aussie, because they got like a 5.2 billion lawsuit or something like that. So they went for having no restrictions, no guidelines, nothing. Anybody could use it to know that you fart the wrong way, you know what I mean? You're getting banned for 7 days. So they're very strict now. But as well, it's bots, obviously, like Facebook and that, it's bots that obviously monitor you. So obviously TikTok being a Chinese company, their bots are obviously just going to be like Chinese bots or whatever. So my mad thick Scottish accent, they kind of detect it. Like one video I done as well, somebody's like, you can't fight. And I just said to him, I didn't even get cheeky back then, I just let the cat sound in. And I get permanently banned for, I got the account back obviously, but I get permanently banned for like 3 weeks. I was raging about it, not me. I was like, you talk about it, I've done anything wrong. All I said was sounding. That's what I'm saying. They probably think I've said something pure ludicrous, not I mean, just because they couldn't understand my accent, not I mean.
They didn't take it in. I don't even know where to start with this, man, but the best kebab thing, by the way, see, when I seen that was what caught my eye with it, because I knew that was a terrible place. I wish I'd watched it before. I had it, because I went, I was at a hotel one night, like ages ago, man, right? And I thought to myself, like, I was just pure wanting a munch, because I had the munchies. And I was going through, and it was the first place I seen, and I thought, and you know what way, because I wasn't really thinking clearly, I was like, best kebab.
That's a big.
I bet they've got a pure banging kebab. You know what I mean?
Well, I think anywhere called the best in it. It's kind of one. It's either gone one or two ways in it. It's either the actual worst place or the actual other nice.
It was so. I mean, fair play to people just trying to make a living in that, but fuck's sake, man, it was so bad.
Well, apparently they actually used to be. Apparently 20 years ago they used to be banging. Apparently when they first opened, they used to be brilliant. But that's one of the reasons I know I'm doing their own food reviews, because how many times is that? I don't know about yourself, but how many times that's happened to me where you go somewhere for the first couple of months and it is nice because they're obviously trying to get the word of mouth and they're trying to get people in, and then eventually after about a year it just ends up stinking. I mean, obviously they've got the amount of customers, they're settled into their wee area, they don't think anybody's got to do it, you know what I mean? They just basically think all their customers are their customers now and they don't need to get their food better. So I do think that's also happened with Best Kebab. They're now in the city centre. People go there anyway because after a night out it's the only place that's open, so you want to go and get a mad rotten kebab. And it's one of the ones, I know I said the best kebab is one of the rottenest places I've ever tried, but I bet you any money if it was 4 a.m, I was absolutely steaming drunk, know what I mean, coming out dancing, I probably could eat it, know what I mean, I could probably eat anything doing that, know what I mean.
Aye, definitely.
So that's what I'm saying, so they probably get away with a lot, that's probably how they make a lot of their money, which is fair play to them. I'm no, at the end of the day, I know I'm not trying to put anybody out of business, know what I mean, that's what, some people have been like, oh, you're attacking businesses, not, I'm no, but I'm getting, I'm paying them money to do reviews. Not as I'm getting it for free or anything. I'm getting, paying them money. At the end of the day, I know it's just a matter of opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, you go and if you think I'm just doing it for badness, you go in and taste their food and see. You go and help them. I mean, because at the end of the day, I know I've started being a small business owner myself, obviously opening with my own wrestling company and that. Do you know what I'm making sure I do so I don't get complaints on that. I'm making sure I put out a good product. No, I mean, I'm making sure that people are going to be entertained with what I'm doing. So that's what these places should be doing. Just make sure you're putting out good food, and then you're not going to have to worry about people complaining and stuff like that. No, I mean, put out a good service, and then people will stop like your product, will like what you're doing. So that's the one thing. Anybody, all the people that say, oh, you're just targeting small places. No, know what I mean? Part of the best kebab owners and I was going to try to say I'm racist apparently, which I think's ludicrous, know what I mean? Because I've no done it. The reason I didn't target them because where they're from or their nationality, and like I targeted them because they done a TripAdvisor thing where they brought attention to themselves that their place isn't nice, know what I mean?
Just sounds like a raging mate, to be fair.
Oh no, definitely, know what I mean? Like I done a place called the Copper Pot in Govan, know what I mean? And the wee old guy that works in there, Robert, is his name Robert? Or is it George? Robert, I think his name is. Robert and it's Robert and his daughters and that own it. They're obviously they're waiting for Govan, know what I mean? If I was racist, how come I put a video on about them, know what I mean? But it's just one of the ones. Obviously that guy is just obviously raging about it, but somebody posted a video last night, that guy for Best Kebab saying that I was racist, so I just thought I'd put that out there.
Fair enough, mate. No, you've used a creative tool really well here to create something for yourself, so it's been great to watch. They're all really funny.
I brought them back. Season 2 just came out 2 weeks ago. I've been back to Best Kebab in a disguise. That's Best Kebab 2, the Electric Boogaloo, or Best Kebab 2 Judgment Day. That'll be on, I think it'll be the end of February. I've not hit 1 million views on one of my videos yet on TikTok. That's one of my next goals. And I think if I build up enough hype around this new Best Kebab video, that could maybe do it. So that's why it's no straight away. A lot of people are like, when you posting it? I'm posting it.
Promotion, mate.
It'll be the 10th episode, which should be in 8 weeks' time. Know what I mean? The 10th episode of season 2, and that'll be the finisher. So the first season started with Best Kebab, second season ended with Best Kebab.
That's some build up, to be fair. So you've been doing a lot of things. You've got a comedy show coming up this month, and you've started your wrestling company, like you said, show in February. So let's talk about that a bit. You've obviously done this with the Rotten Food Reviews. What made you want to go into comedy as well?
Well, basically, obviously, since I was a wee boy in school, I was always a class clown. I mean, I was always trying to make everybody laugh, and I was always trying to be the funniest person there, and the funniest person in my class, funniest person in school, always acting, always trying to make people laugh and that stuff. Then obviously I became on social media, I started making funny videos, getting into the wrestling and stuff like that. Obviously I know that I've always had people telling me I should try, I always had people telling me I should try be a comedian, I should try stand-up comedy and stuff like that. So I did, after TikTok and all that, and basically the Fairfield Club needed, they wanted a night for their members, right? That's where I run the wrestling shows and stuff like that. They wanted a night for their members. This was back last year or something, I can't quite remember, but they wanted a night for their members. So they asked me, David, you do comedy and all that, didn't you? Just like, no really, no, but I'll get a bash if you want. No, I mean, they've said to us obviously about doing a comedy set and that. Like, I'm not really a comedian, I just make funny videos online. Like, well, that's still comedy. And it's like, aye, it is, but filming something and then get up on a stage and obviously doing a 5-minute, 10-minute set, it's completely different. But I was like, but it'll be good practice, because a lot of people have always said to me, I should get into comedy, I'd love to come see you and that stuff, you know what I mean? So I thought, like, you know what, let's try it, because I know one of the reasons, obviously I said I made my videos for the wrestling, so one of the reasons I did my videos because I wanted people to be thinking to themselves, oh, how can I see Ravie Davie? And I'd tell them, the only way you can see Ravie Davie is through wrestling. But now I'm trying to expand, obviously now, I don't just want to be stuck, because some people might know, so even see the people I'm talking about with the wrestling, if they don't like wrestling and they come once, I might be able to get them back in the door, right? But there's a good chance they'll come see me once and then that's them had the enjoyment with me. But if I start doing comedy and that and I can be good at comedy, there's a good chance that my fan base and my following that will come and see me more, because obviously they like comedy and stuff like that, and then they might obviously go to the wrestling, all these kind of different things. Like they might come and see me in the comedy, and then because they find I'm funny there, might take their wings to come see the wrestling. It's just more avenues. But because obviously a lot of people said to me, do the comedy, I done that stand up when I said in the Fairfield Club, and it bombed, right? But I'm not gonna. It probably it's a working men's club, the Fairfield Club, so their members are obviously guys in their 60s and 70s, and women obviously in their 60s and 70s. And the jokes that I'd write out is like, oh, you might know my man, or you might know my man, or I mean my mum, Catherine McCallum, no, that she did since the last 21 years, and they'd go like, oh, and I'm like, don't worry, you don't need to be sorry. You didn't kill her. She done that herself. I done a TikTok video basically like that. That was one of the jokes I done, and it kind of died. Know what I mean? Because obviously they're all that's a bit sinister. I'm like, fuck's sake, man. And the only one joke I go in the full comedy set that people laughed at, I said that I look like Craig Feastenders. Somebody said I look like Craig Feastenders, the wee Polish. And one old guy with a cat, they didn't even laugh at that joke, but that one old guy with a cat, you've certainly got the ears like him, right? But this guy's sitting there with ears that size. I'm no kidding you, man. Big shug the lug, man. Ears massive. I'm like that to him, right, big man, come on. Anybody else in here was to say that, I'd take that. But you're sitting there looking like the European Cup, man. Full place in stitches. Not I mean, again, me slaughtering somebody, me making fun of somebody, know what I mean? So that was me. I was like, right. I think so. My big mate 5-0, Jordan, he's been on TikTok. He actually was on TikTok before me. Do you know the slot and that he actually got a big following, but he's ended up getting himself permanently banned like an idiot. So he's had to make another account. But I just like, right, me and him, we're best pals, man. We've been jumping about together for like 9 years now or something like that. Everybody used to call us the legendary duo because we'd just always be together, making fun of people, bamming our pals up and all that, just doing stuff. But one time we were at our pal's 21st, Courtney and the Gazelle and Govan. And we end up just deciding to be a stripper for her, not I mean, the 2 years, just end up stripping for her, not that, in the middle of the pub, man, ball naked, the 2 years, man, ridiculous. But that's something that we end up doing, just with always life of the party too. So I've just been like to him, man, the 2 years are funny. He'd done like bits of stand up and that as well. I was like, mate, why don't we like try and cash in on like the fact that we're funny, the fact that we're good pals and that? Why don't we like, it's weird because obviously I said I'm not good with the stand up, but I feel like I'm really good with improv comedy. Because obviously I know 50 writes out a lot of sketches and stuff like that, obviously today for his comedy shows, his like TikTok and that, and we were like bashing ideas after, and he noticed a lot of my stuff's improv. Like I'd rather have bullet points and then work on it, and then he's like, that's actually really good. He liked it, so he started doing that as well. So I was like, well, if it's like we're no stand-up comedians, but we could be improv comedians, so let's think of something. Let's make a comedy panel show like Celebrity Juice, but let's do it in Scotland. No, there's not really anything like that in Scotland either. So basically the way I'm liking this is I'm liking this to like Celebrity Juice meets a Frankie Boyle / Kevin Bridges comedy show meets Jackass. Know what I mean? Like some of the game shows, there's some of the things we've got doing. Like for example, we've got a round called Blindfold Boxing. Where me and 5 are going to be blindfolded, and members of the audience are going to ask questions to other people on a panel. So I may as well. So basically, it's got to be. So Blams to the Slaughter. I may as well explain this before I go out with the games. In fact, that's stupid for me. But Blams to the Slaughter. It basically is going to be an improv comedy show. 2 panels, right? We'll get Billy Kirkwood, one of the best comedians in the full of Scotland, and one especially host. He probably is the best hosting comedian in Scotland, and he's one of the best comedians in Scotland. Just full stop. He's hosting it. Then we've got Team Ravie and Team 5-0. On my team, there's James Gardner and the wee man Neil Bratchpiece, 2 comedians at different levels, but hilarious both of them. And then 5-0's got Mikey Motion, I don't know if you know him, and Mark Black, Paul Black's big brother. That's kind of offensive, obviously, saying that, but I just know that because you've obviously seen TikTok, like you've probably seen Paul.
Mark's been on here. Mark's he's been a guest on here.
Has Mark been on here as well?
So is James as well, James Gardner.
Oh, well, that's fantastic, mate. That shows you I'm watching the product, doesn't it, man? Fucking terrible for me,
just
man.
let everyone know. Check those guys out.
Well, I definitely check them out. No, I mean, especially if you're coming to Bamster Slaughter next week. You know who Mark is? That's... I feel like a dick now, not I mean, but Mark Black, no, because that's what I'm saying. I knew Mark before I even knew who Paul was, obviously because of the Courtney video. I mean, like, don't film me, Courtney. Then you'll see. I think that's one of the funniest things that we've ever done on social media. You know what I mean? So obviously Mark, he's going to be on it. He's in 5-0's team, and then obviously we Mikey Motion. Mikey Motion, I don't know if you've seen him. He's the Bergos boy. You know what I mean? The Bergie boy. Like, that's fucking absolutely bloody roasting. So he's done. So they're the teams, right? And then, as I said, so one of the rounds is blindfold boxing. Basically, I'm going to be blindfolded. 5-0's going to be blindfolded. our panel members are going to be asked questions. If they get it, like, so say it's a question asked to my teams and they get it wrong, I'm going to get spun around. And then 5-0 is going to try and punch me, and his mates are obviously his teammates are going to explain to him where to punch me. I'm only allowed to use one arm to guard that and all. So there's a good chance of both. There's a good chance I'm going to get knocked out because he's 6'4" and built like a shit brick house. Know what I mean? We have to probably put that game on last. Know what I mean? So we'll not end up punch drunk by the end of it. But so there's stuff like that. Then we've got what other games is there? There's like the rat walk. We need to pick an outfit for each of the opponent, make them walk down. And we need to talk them and that. So for example, you could have me in a mad dress or something like that, walking down and getting pelted.
Just dress as Brendan Rodgers, mate. You'll be
who?
Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers.
You'll be a rat, no bother, mate.
Well, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. But it's not really me that gets to pick. If it was me, I'd be picking my nice jammies or something like that. So I can't get slated that much. Know what I mean? But I've got a good thing for Big 5-0. To be fair, I think I'm going to stick him in. He's going to look like I'm picturing. Know what I mean? If it is him, to be fair, because that's the one thing we need to watch it. But we need to try and mix it up so it's not just me constantly against 5-0 and 5-0 against me. We need to try and get me against Mark Black or James Gardner against 5-0 at some points and that, know what I mean? But we'll smash it anyway. But so that's basically the idea is because people tell us we're comedians, but I don't think we're stand-up comedians. So we'll try to figure out a way to do a show where we're no different to do that. And I think doing an improv comedy show like this, it's not something that anybody's. Know that I know anyway. I know there's like bits and bobs here on comedy shows and that, but I think what we're doing, we're getting props. Like the loser and all, the forfeit, right? Whoever's team loses, right? I'm a Nicola Sturgeon supporter, right? To be fair, but we know a lot of people that don't like Nicola Sturgeon and that right now. So the losing team captain has to dress up like Nicola Sturgeon and we're going to do a raffle for this because we couldn't just let everybody gunges, but there's going to be people allowed to gunges. We're going to do a raffle for it so that we get 8 people in the audience because we've got 2 guys that helped us promote and flyer the show, not just 2 boys off TikTok. So they're going to be allowed to gunges, and then we're going to pick 8 other people through a raffle, and then they're going to be able to scud us with eggs. We'll get tennis balls, flour, everything. Not I mean, just going to get cakes. Going to end up looking like a big chicken or something like that at the end of it. And that's the forfeit. Not I mean, that's just try to do stuff different. No, I mean, just try to think of ideas that aren't really been done before. And I think, honestly, I'm buzzing for it. I'm buzzing for this more than I'm buzzing for anything else this year that I've got planned. And I maybe got to. I've got to Tenerife in 3 weeks. Not I mean, I'm more buzzing for Bams to the Slaughter.
Mate, that sounds incredible. You put a lot of time and thought into that.
Oh, mate, definitely, man. Just smashing heads together. I mean, the big man just try to get it all planned out. It's one of the ones that. There's a saying, I don't know, I'm not a butcher saying if I say it, but basically if you put your hard work and dedication into stuff, you get the hard work and dedication back, whatever way, you know what I mean? So I feel that this show we made a bit, we jobbed it a bit, know what I mean? We made a bit of an arse at putting it at the end of January for the first time ever show, know what I mean? Because obviously people have just had Christmas, a lot of people are monthly pay, so their next pay, they've basically been 5 weeks, not I mean, they got paid at Christmas Eve, their next pay probably won't be until the 28th. So I feel like we've maybe picked the wrong time for it. I feel like maybe I should have I've got a wrestling show in February. I feel maybe I should have had the wrestling show in January because obviously the wrestling show is already the first one, so there's the people know what to expect. Whereas obviously nobody's seen Bams to the Slaughter before, so they don't know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Aye. So I feel like, but it's one of the ways it started selling good once we started promoting it the right way, going out and doing like the Neddy Cloak news and stuff like that, and just going out and making funny sketches. People want to see the toys, people think the toys are hilarious, and they want to see the toys get up to stuff. So I think it should be good, man. It will be.
Well, you figured out what's the funniest thing to you, like what you can do the best way. Like I think people are so, they think of every sort of original thing as the only way they can do it. Like you have to do stand up just like normal stand up, but you can do all these things outside the box, like you said.
Oh, no, definitely, man. It's like I'm always up for trying something once. Not I mean, at the end of the day, mate, you're better off trying something and failing, man, and then knowing where you can go with it than never trying at all. And that's the way I see it with this. I'm going to put all my time and effort into it, and hopefully it succeeds. If it doesn't succeed, I'm still going to try and do it again, because I just think if it doesn't succeed this one, it'll not be because I lack of effort or trying, and it'll be because we stupidly put it at the end of January. You know what I mean? Like, just that's the only.
Mate, I'm sure it'll go well. It sounds like you've made it into something very unique, and might try and see if I can get along to that.
Again, it's only £10 a ticket, no? I mean, I'm sure
If you've got a ramp somewhere, I'll do it, but if you get stairs, I can't do it.
No, the Fairfield Club is just straight in, mate. It's straight in, there's no stairs or anything like
I
that,
might pop along to that. Sounds like a good night. Throw an egg at you, mate.
Mate, you would be fair, mate. You don't need to buy a raffle ticket to Gungeons, man. If you come along, I'll put you in the Gungeon team.
Right, okay, I'm there, mate. That's me. I'm sorted.
Good stuff.
Give you a shot of the cherno on the stage and shit. Think you can do a video or something.
No, mate, don't tell me, you know what I mean? Because I'll have a few. I don't drink that much, and obviously I'll need to drink. No need to drink, right? But I'm definitely got to be having a wee drink in me, man, to settle the nerves and all that. Obviously, get the party flowing. So don't be tempting me with shots of your wheelchair, mate. Because I end up I'll be fucking driving about the place.
It could get messy, mate. Especially if my wheelchair goes over legs and shit like that.
But that's the one thing. That's the reason I know, because I'm getting the 10 people. And there's going to be like a wee area for it, know what I mean? So the full place doesn't get messy and stuff like that.
Right, so that was the comedy shows on 28th.
28th of January, mate, a week on Friday. Cool.
I
don't know when this is going to, but
we'll put it out next. We'll put it out on Tuesday.
Right, sorted. Well, 3 days away, and for people that are watching this, it's out in 3 days.
Cool.
Shite myself.
No, I'm sure it'll go well, mate. That sounds like a big last night. But you've been doing a lot of things. You've got everything going well with TikTok. You've got the comedy show, and then you've started a wrestling company. So I wanted to kind of go back to what sort of started your sort of wrestling journey, if you like, because you were saying how I read how the ICW documentary was like how you first seen that you could maybe get involved in doing it. I was just kind of wondering, like, I've spoke a bit about how what wrestling's meant to me and what made me kind of connect to it a wee bit as well. But what is it like? Why is it so important to you?
Well, wrestling's so important to me, mate. Obviously, I don't know if you've read into it, but my mum passed away when I was 6 years old. You know what I mean? Lost her battle with depression, committed suicide, basically. You know what I mean? So obviously, I was just a wee boy. I liked wrestling that when I was 4 years old, but I wasn't. I'd watch it with my cousins and that. Like, I say I've liked wrestling since I was 4, right? Because I watched it and that, but I didn't really start liking it until my ma passed away. Because basically, when I started watching it, I seen all these big characters and that. I was just immersed in it for 2 hours. 2 hours a week or whatever. Obviously, I'd watch it a bit more than that, but for 2 hours, whenever I was watching it, I forgot all my troubles. Not, I mean, I wasn't thinking about ma. I wasn't worrying. I wasn't thinking, well, my ma's got to come through the door. And like, I was just focusing on the wrestling. And my nana and that noticed that. Obviously, my nana. So, for example, once my mum passed away, my mum passed away in December. I don't think I was expecting. I don't think I was getting a Nintendo 64 for my Christmas. Not I mean, until that happened. You get me? I think my nana went and broke the bank to get me something that she couldn't really afford me. That was really something that happened throughout the rest of my life. My nana spoiling me with stuff to try and make me feel better because I didn't have my mum. But I wasn't even playing the Nintendo. You know what I mean? I would just be try to watch wrestling, and if I wasn't watching wrestling, I would sit outside so we stayed in a close, right? 6. It was my nana, my uncle Terry at the top, my mum, me, my sister, then just the neighbours, right? And obviously when my mum died, I was staying with my nana, but every day I would just sit at the doorstep waiting for my mum to come back. No, I mean, I'd just be like, when she coming home, when my mum coming home, like, because obviously at that age, you don't think your ma's got to die, no? I'd never dealt with death, I didn't know it was a thing, so obviously I'm sitting just waiting every day for my ma to come back, and then for 2 hours when wrestling was on, I wouldn't be sitting at that door, I mean, I'd be sitting watching wrestling, pure immersed. So then eventually my nana would get me, like, she ended up getting me, I had the Nintendo and that, but she didn't get me the games, she didn't realise what games to get me, so I had like GoldenEye, Mario, and all that stuff. But then obviously me watching the wrestling, she's got me No Mercy, got No Mercy stuck at, and I was playing that like that mad, loving that. So then my nana's kind of noticed, it's wrestling. If he's either watching wrestling or he's playing wrestling, he's not sitting depressed, or he's not. He's not. Obviously, I was depressed or not, but you know what I mean. Obviously, I'm not sitting. My nana watching that, I must have broke her heart, to be fair, because I've got a wee boy now, man. See if something happened to one of my family or anything, and he was sitting just greeting his heart about it, or breaking his wee heart about it, I'd be devastated. You know what I mean? So I could imagine my nana, who's just lost her daughter, and she'd lost her daughter previous as well. You know what I mean? So my nana lived 2 away, and that's fucking. That's hard, you know what I mean? And then obviously having to look after me and my sister and me acting like that, obviously, I don't imagine it to be a nice thing for her, so I think she's realised wrestling's his thing. So my nana started, just for that moment, my nana's put all her money into wrestling for me. Like, growing up, she put the money into, she was either the games, pay-per-views, wrestling figures, just everything, man. Like a Monday, and if there was a pay-per-view on a Sunday, my nana would buy me on Skybox Office for 15 quid and then let me stay after school on the Monday morning, you know what I mean, just so that I could stay up and watch it. She got me a Skybox for my own room, no even like for down the stairs, not even 7, 8 years old, I've got an own Skybox, man, you know what I mean. Some people back then didn't even have Sky in their house, you know what I mean. I've got it in my own room just to make me feel bad. Man, I didn't, well, no, man, I worked in a wee hairdresser, sweeping up hair, you know what I mean, and she didn't. She'd retired before that, you know what I mean? So she'd went back to work just to look after me and my sister, which fair play to her, man. So I was getting spoiled, man, and that was obviously where I'd realised that. So my love for wrestling kind of came through. That's what wrestling means to me. It means everything to me. But then as I got older, I was like, so the youth workers would come round that team and they'd be like, but these what I do. Me and my cousin Xander, my tag team partner, government team, we'd be like, oh, we want to be wrestlers, man. We want to go to, can we get a wrestling club? No, and the social workers, the youth workers would be like, aye, right, cool, mate. But these actually what I do, you know what I mean? Like football, tennis, swimming, stuff like that. I don't know why I said tennis, that's a pure random thing to go to. Like. But stuff like that, and we'd obviously like, no, we want to be wrestlers, so they'd say, oh, we'll go away and say to our bosses, and to be fair, they probably did go away and say to our bosses, these are the boys that want to do wrestling, the boss like that. Well, tell the boys not to be so fucking stupid, no, I mean, we're in Scotland, man, this isn't fucking America, no, I mean, you're not fucking in Chicago, Illinois, fucking, so basically, it never happened. Then I went to school as well, and I was 12, I always remember this, you know what I mean, in pastoral care, no pastoral care, but is it? It's the PSE, that subject, PSE is or something like
that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's personal social education or something like that. So basically they're asking everybody which is what I do, you know what I mean? Everybody's just getting a normal answer. I want to be a joiner when I'm older, I want to be this when I'm older, I want to be that. It comes with me, like, how would you want to be, David? I want to be a professional wrestler. Teacher just like, what? You want to be a what? And I was like, I want to be a professional wrestler. Like, David, don't be so stupid. You need to be American and take steroids to be a professional wrestler. That's something you like. Think of something actually achievable. I'm just like, what? What do you mean? That's fucking all I've ever wanted to be in my life. Fucking, I was heartbroken after that, you know what I mean? So, and then obviously like, the teacher laughing at me and everybody else laughing at me. This is one of the reasons I know I'm actually so confident. That's the last time I've ever been embarrassed in my life. After that, right, see everybody laughing at me, like after that I just thought, you know what? Fuck caring what anybody thinks about you, you know what I mean? After that, I started telling people I want to be a professional lottery when I never thought about any other job in my life. They ruined my wrestling dream for me in my eyes at that time. So after that, I was just like, I can't be a wrestler, so I just want to be a professional lottery winner. Because if I tell you anything else, you might just laugh at me. I don't want to feel like that again, you know what I mean? So I'm not going through that. So I was told I couldn't be a wrestler and all, so I kind of stopped liking it. No, stopped liking it. I still loved it to bits, still watched it, but I wasn't going about telling everybody. I wasn't quite as vocal about it, because even at that age, I was 12, 13 I was in first year. So I was 12, 13, so the teacher saying that to me, I was going about telling people I loved wrestling, even though it wasn't really the in-thing then, no, I mean, obviously you're in first year, people are obviously kind of caught and don't know what wrestling is. They thought, I say wrestling's like Santa Claus, right, basically. You don't see if you like wrestling, you don't stop liking it, right? You feel betrayed. Like Santa, right, see when you get told Santa wasn't Santa, what's the first thing you went about and done? You went about and told other Waynes Santa's not real, you know what I mean? Like, Santa isn't, you know, you wanted to ruin it because it'd been ruined for you and you were hurt, you know what I mean? That was the way wrestling is. People don't actually stop liking wrestling, they just get hurt, right? And then they stop liking it. Because then see when you're older, you don't start believing in Santa again, right? But the joy of Santa comes back to you because you've got your own Waynes, your own family now. Same with maybe wrestling, maybe you might not like wrestling again, then your Wayne likes it and you start watching, you actually like to yourself, oh, I fucking do like wrestling. I mean, dads that have said that to me and stuff. So that's what I try and do. Like, if they don't watch wrestling or something, but if I can get them into the door and watch wrestling, if they used to like it, they're probably going to like it again, especially seeing my kind of stuff. So I kind of went off track there basically, but so obviously after all that, right, I've basically started getting into trouble and all that. I've basically couldn't be a wrestler, so I went into gang fighting. That was my wrestling, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of started doing, got myself into trouble and all that. Just a bad patch in my life. From the age of 12 to about 17, I was just a wee idiot. Didn't ever think I could be a wrestler, as I said. Whatever. Get into trouble, stuff like that. And then when I was 17, I finally got a job as a welding, a fabricating welder, blacksmith. I was doing that. Hated it, man, but a job's a job, you know what I mean? So that was when you stick to it. You look after it. Look after myself by doing the job. My wee nana loved it. Oh, my boy's a blacksmith. Love that. But then 4 years into it, just about to finish my apprenticeship, my wee nana died, and as she was dying, I found it, my cousin Xander told me about a wrestling school, Source, so I seen that and I was like, let's go, man, that'd be brilliant. So me and Xander went, we were there for like 6 hours, loved it, it was brilliant, man, it was. Big Demo was taking us and that. It was a great day, but when I went out, obviously man, I had cancer at the time, I went out and man, I had just had like 60 missed calls, and I was like, no man, I've missed my nana dying because I've been at wrestling. I was fucking shit. Luckily she hadn't died, but just people were worried about me like that. Obviously it was my turn to look after my nana that because we were all taking turns staying in the hospital and stuff. So it was my turn to look after that night, and obviously people were just wondering where I was, because obviously I had a reputation and all. I'd know exactly, I'd been badly behaved and stuff like that. So my family, after no hearing from me, they were thinking that maybe I'm in the jail or something like that, or fucking in the police station, or done something stupid, or maybe lying in a ditch deed or something like that, to be honest. Not I mean, it could have been anything. So they were obviously worried about me, so I was like, I can't do that, because the feeling that dread that I had after coming out there, I felt like my nana had died, man. I was just pure heartbroken. So after that, but I went to see my nana, and there was like pictures taken for the wrestling school, and like I showed her it, and my nana had been heavy non-responsive for ages. Like she was fucked, know what I mean? But I showed her these pictures, and she looked at them, man, and she just ended up with the biggest smile on her face, know what I mean? It was just that way, fucking get a bit emotional here, man. It was just that way that I seen that in her face, and I was like, that's it, man. Like, I know she's got to pass away soon, man, but this is what I could do to like make her proud for beyond the grave, know what I mean? Like, it's just like, she put all her money into wrestling, she spent all her life devoting my life to wrestling to make me happy. Maybe I can go and try to do this. It's something, but obviously, as I said, I hadn't seen the Insane Fight Club documentary and that. So then when I died, or maybe I've not been thinking about it as much or whatever. But she left me and my wee cousin, me and my sister and my two wee cousins, she left us £250 each. Not a lot of money, you know what I mean? But fucking, for a wee old 70-year-old woman who never fucking worked a lot and like, it was decent, you know what I mean? And then that's when I seen, as I said, you said about Insane Fight Club. So I've seen Insane Fight Club. I'm looking at it, I'm watching it, I'm like, no way, this is amazing. This is the business. And I seen Grado. When I seen Grado, to be fair, I love him. Grado's one of the biggest inspirations for Ravie Davie. There's no Grado, there is no Ravie Davie, you know what I mean? And Grado, and all Grado, I was actually talking to him in New Year. Grado told me I was an inspiration. I was like, Grado, what you talking about, mate? Shoot, inspired me. If you think I'm an inspiration, well, you're the one that's inspired that, mate. So fucking be happy with that, you know what I mean? But obviously, when I seen Grado first, I'm like, aye, right, fuck off. He's the best at this. If he can do that, I can do it. Fuck's sake, he's fatter than me, and I'm funnier than him. Obviously, my big ego I had at the time. Still got a big ego, but I was just like, no way, man. If he can do it, I can do it. It's ridiculous, man. So I was like, I'm going to find out where to do that. Obviously, the Facebook algorithms work, because as soon as I put that down and stopped watching the documentaries, came up on my Facebook, GPWA starting a new wrestling school, £125 for an 8-week course. I was like, £125? I've got 250. I was like, this is written in the stars, know what I mean? My nana's left me money. The money I'm going to use is going to pay for the wrestling, know what I mean? It's going to actually...
It's incredible, mate.
This is going to be the money that I use for the wrestling. So I'm going for this. I'm going to do it, man. I went and phoned them up, put my £125 and I booked my place, done the 8 weeks, and straight away, man, I was just getting told, the coaches, obviously one of the ones I know, they've just started that school, so they're trying to get as many good people to show off as they can. So straight away I went in, they're like, you're fucking brilliant, you can do this, man, you can do this. And eventually, so obviously I thought I was going to be good at it. Turned out I was quite good at it, you know what I mean? Like, out the boys I'm in class with, I was in the class with, there's only one boy that's still doing it for that class, me and Sam Barber, you know what I mean? Fair dues to one of the boys, fair play to him, Kiffy West. He's a big massive bodybuilder now. He's known a bad way to wrestling, but like, he might end up being on a world stage, know what I mean? Fucking on World's Strongest Man competitions like this boy, you know what I mean? So, and obviously I love wrestling that, but just in the scale of things, he might end up being fucking bigger than the fella Scottish wrestling, just with for his own thing he's doing, know what I mean? So fair play to him for being a wrestler. He's obviously fun his own niche and went on to that, and fair play to him. But me and Sam Barber are only two people through our class, our intake, that are still doing it, which is quite funny because we were the first one. He was my first match, he was my first feud, he was my first ICW match, a lot of different things with Sam Barber that I've managed to do. So that's basically how I got into it. Obviously, and as well, once I'd done it, so for my debut, for my first wrestling training, so I went into it as well. You do the 8-week course, right? And then you get into the main class. And when you get into the main class, back then they were doing like 4 classes a week. So and you'd pay like £65 a month and you could go to any class you want. So straight away, I'm wanting to. There's boys that have had matches here and there, and like no offence to them or anything, but in my head, the way I see it is, I'm trying to think it. But see, obviously, watching movies and they say, "Oh, people going to jail and all that," and like you go for the big one. Like, that's what I was doing. I was getting in there. I was like, "Who's the best in here?" It's like him. I was like, so you're not. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to be. I was trying to be better, so I was getting 4 days a week to train. Know what I mean? Didn't actually miss the only reason I ended up missing one session was because I get flew to Amsterdam with ITV because of my Amsterdam video that I done when I woke up in Amsterdam. I wouldn't have missed it if it wasn't for that. I'd have kept going. I was trying to just go all the time, try to get better, just so I could get my debut. Because I was like, a couple of guys that had matches now, and I was wanting to be the star of the show. So I just kept going and going because it's one of the ones I know I'd been making funny videos and stuff like that. But I didn't want to like. I wasn't wanting to get on shows because of
being funny. I
wanted to go on the shows because I deserved it, and I'd say like, I didn't. So it was like 63. I think it was like 63 lessons in a row. I'd went to so early four. Not even just gone. I don't know how. So that's probably at least 15 weeks in a row. Not I mean I'm going 4 times a week to training. Not I mean no missing a session. Nothing like that. Just gone for because I wanted to make my debut. Wanted to get there. So eventually I done a battle royal. End up me and Sam Barber in the final again. Not I mean just always meet him. He's always there. Won that. Everybody went mental. And then because of that, we got a singles match. Done that. And Dallas had been watching it. And Dallas was like, "Tis the next day you can do it in Newcastle just to help it." That's like, "You get your wrestling gear with you?" Like, "No mate, why would I have my wrestling gear?" You're like, "What, you not been taught? First lesson is wrestling. Always bring your gear." It's like, "I think I missed that lesson, mate." Must have been when I was away to Amsterdam. No, I mean, it's like, nobody taught me that. Fuck. Obviously, my missus, best wee woman ever, Georgia, man, she managed to, I was like, "I need you to get my wrestling gear and go and drop it after one of the wrestlers who's coming down to Newcastle later." Obviously, I was ring crew, so I was going to do it early, but obviously the wrestlers come down a bit later. I was like, "You need to do this for me." And she did. She went out and met somebody she'd never met before in her life outside a pub. Not been hounding my wrestling gear just so I could make my ICW debut down in Newcastle. And then for there, it just kind of went, it was all just right up. Not I mean, for then, after a few months later, I'm wrestling on one of the pay-per-views. Part of the film, like helping out Fear and Loathing and all that kind of stuff. And then the next year I was on Baramania Shug's house party, and I ended up wrestling in the Hydro. Not I mean, it's just always been up through there. And now I've like you've been saying, I now I'll end up owning my own wrestling company and stuff like that. So just always try to keep pushing on and building. Not
I mean, I just need to say this is an incredible story, mate. Like really, I don't know. Hopefully people have told you that, but just listening to all that, it's amazing, mate.
It's one. I don't like to toot my own horn, man, but I definitely feel like I could have a wee autobiography or a movie or something. Like that.
Mate, that whole thing sounded like a movie script.
I will see the Rogue to Wrestler. See the idea for that show. That was actually Dallas pitched a documentary of my life to them, and they're like, "Oh, we've already done the documentary and all that, but why don't we use the idea? We Rogue who becomes a wrestler, and we'll use that as a thing for a game show," which is class, not I mean, but they didn't really put it out there. That's what they done. It was even I think it was about you'd think that I'd have been in the show a wee bit more, but oh well, fuck it. But I think that's what I'm trying to do. I do think that sometimes I always do think to myself, my life's like either like a sitcom or like a movie or something. It's just always stuff happening. Not I mean, I don't ever. It's not as if I mean it. It just happens to me, man. I'm just always out of trouble, man. I always get myself out of sticky situations. There's
so many things in that would have made people crumble, you know. And you've actually managed to overcome them all and become a wrestler after people laughing at you and telling you couldn't do it. I mean, that really is inspirational. People call me inspirational for different things and all that, but
I mean, you're inspirational, man. Just battling in the gym, man, before you come to your podcast. No, I mean, but I mean, in wrestling rings and all that. I mean, that's what you do. You one of the reasons, obviously, that people will be what make happy to come on here, like, because you're an inspiration, mate, definitely. So spending a bit of time with you actually is going to make people like if people are feeling a wee bit lazy, I'm like, no, you get the right to be, because you're out here smashing stuff, mate. You're out here like, well, you're saying with me, obviously, I'm out trying to smash my goals. You're out smashing your goals as well, mate, and just showing that there's nobody's got the right to not be lazy or anything like that, but just don't feel sorry for yourself, innit? Know what I mean? Like, there's no need to feel sorry for yourself. I felt sort of, obviously, I'm not going to lie, obviously there's times I do feel sorry for myself and that, know what I mean? Just like anniversaries of my ma's death and stuff like that, just like, oh man, like, that one hit me hard, man, just because like it was my 21 years of my ma being dead, know what I mean? That's more than a quarter of my life, know what I mean? Like, I only knew her for 6 years, like that's what I said, like, some people obviously celebrate their 21st, man. I on December, that was my 21st anniversary of my ma passed. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing to take sometimes, but But as I said, there's no point in feeling sorry for yourself, and that's the thing now. And obviously, when I was younger, I wanted to get into the WWE and that, and obviously, I know, see Vince McMahon phones me up today and says here, or one of Vince McMahon phones you, be like John Laurinaitis or something like that, maybe Triple H or something like that. But if they phone me up and say to today, obviously, you want to sign, obviously I'd be running out that door, no Sorry Boys podcast, done seas later, not I need to go somewhere. But obviously that's not my goal anymore, not I mean, obviously I'd like to go there and that, but I'm not going to try and kill myself to get there. Now my goal is to maybe show wee guys for places like Govan, like rougher areas, that you know what, man, see, even if you have been dealt a hard card in life, man, there's no need to, you can still make something of yourself, see, with a bit of hard work and dedication, you can still, and not even just make it like obviously a wee guy turned like somebody that's a wee guy that's obviously what I don't know, goes into school and his teacher tells him, oh, go and be a joiner, that's a good job, or go and be like a welder, that's a good job, and the wee guy does it. I'm not talking about that. You can do that with hard work, and if that's what you want to do, fair enough. I'm talking about you can still go and live your dreams even if you've no, even if your life has been a bit hard. I mean, when I was 4 years old, I didn't actually, well, obviously I just thought I could be a wrestler, man, but nobody else thought I could do it. No, I mean, obviously fair enough, a lot of things have changed in Scotland for this to happen for me as well. A lot of things that have obviously probably I didn't even know happened at the time was lucky for me. But it doesn't mean like I'm out there wrestling. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I think honestly in about 3 or 4 years time I'll be able to make a full-time living at wrestling, which means I'm a pro wrestler. I know I'm a pro wrestler now, but I'll actually be making the money off it, paying my bills and stuff like that. I think that's something I'll actually be able to do in like 3 or 4 years time. Once the wrestling companies like taking off and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like nothing stop me. Like, so if you're a wee guy that when you're 4 years old, 3 years old, wanting to be a fireman, there's nothing stopping you being a fireman. Not I mean, just because, you maybe fucking you're for post or something like that, and your man die, haven't exactly been living the best life or something like that, and because of that, you've not got the, I don't know, you've not, it's hard to explain, but
you've not got the best opportunities.
You've not got the best opportunities in life. No, I mean, you've not been spoon fed. And stuff like that. You're not going to Jordan Hall High School or something like one of the best schools. You know what I mean? You're going to, I don't know what school up in Postal, but you know what I mean? Like just you've not been silver spoon things, and you've not been the best opportunities, but you can still make it. No, I mean, you can still go and be a farmer. I mean, you can still go and be a scientist. You can still go and be a doctor or a nurse. There's nothing stopping you, man. Just as long as you go and work hard, and that's what I done to be a wrestler. Not I mean, gone 64 times. Gone 64 training sessions in the space of 15 weeks, no missing one. That was hard, not I mean, my missus fucking was raging with me for that, not I mean, pure fuming. Didn't get to really see her and my wee boy as much, not I mean, obviously she didn't recognise it first either. Once she was raging, not I mean, she was always moaning and stuff like that, but see once she seen me wrestle, I was like, she's like, no, fair enough, not I mean, he's actually fucking, his hard work's went to something, not I mean, it's not, and no, I don't know, she's always been a hard worker to be fair, not I mean, no, she's like, on TikTok putting herself out there and that and doing stuff. Not I mean, I feel like maybe I've inspired her a wee bit. She inspires me, like, that's one of the reasons as well. I try and work hard and all that, because obviously she's a heavy hard worker. Not I mean, she's now works in a mortgage, a manager in a mortgage company and stuff like that. And she's just a wee lassie for government. Not I mean, all her grades in school. She's probably raging when we saying this, like, but all her grades in school was foundation marks. Not I mean, and now she's managing a team in a mortgage company, which is all facts and figures, know what I mean? So there's not even that, you're not grades and that, there's nothing, there is nothing stopping for you if you work hard, and that's what she's done for day one. She got to school, she's worked hard. That's what, once I realised I could become a wrestler, that's what I done. I worked hard, know what I mean? I worked hard and all when I was a welder and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything I was wanting to do, know what I mean? Like, obviously, yeah. I'm not saying to anybody, don't put a on, like, that's the one thing, don't work hard on something that you hate. No, I mean, figure out something else you want to do. Like, figure out what you actually really want to do. Like, there's a guy I went to his show at, James Smith. He's like a fitness guru and that, and he's basically said to me, like, see if you're doing something and you don't like it, don't waste your time doing it. So obviously with my welding apprenticeship, I was like, oh, I'll get my papers. Do you know, I just wish as soon the first day I thought to myself, this isn't for me anymore. I wish I'd just left it, because then it'd have been 3 years or whatever to go and actually find something I do like, then find something I love. Not because eventually once I was doing the wrestling, I was like, oh, I'm not welding anymore. Not I mean, I'm not putting my, because when I was doing the welding as well, I had like 40 near misses. So one time I was moving this big steel beam, right, but it was like a half a ton on a forklift. I was just basically pushing it a bit so it could go through doors and that. The fucking forklift tipped, right, boom. The beam went and missed my toes, mate, by that. Not I mean, my toes by that. That'd have been me. I'd have been fucking. I'd have probably lost my feet. I don't want to say it like that. I don't care if I offend you. Like, I know you're not you're having a laugh yourself.
Not with offending you, mate. No, I say all the wheelchair jokes, man.
Fair enough, but I don't know. But I'd definitely been missing my feet. Know what I mean? If I'd landed on me, and then that was the. I was like, oof, as soon as this is done, I'm out of here. Know what I mean? Just 40 near misses. Eventually, one of them's going to be a series. Like, I missed. Know what I mean? And everybody I worked with, they'd either had 9 fingers or they'd fucking big horrible stuff.
Shut myself. You alright? Sorry, just sorry. No, sorry. Fucking.
So it was. So all the guys that I'd worked with, they'd either had like 9 fingers or like. One of the guys had like, he was welding a staircase, and the staircase just burst and hit him in the stomach. And he ended up having to get these parts of his small intestine ripped out. And the guys would like laugh and joke about it and go, oh, we got like $7,000 paid for my mortgage, or like I've got 14 grand. That. But see the guy that got the small intestine thing done to him, see every time you'd walk into the toilet after this guy, oh my God, it smelled like fucking somebody, it smelled like best kebab, not I mean, no kidding, but it smelled horrible, man. It smelled disgusting, man. It was rotten. And that's what I'm saying. I would rather just no have 14 grand and my shite's been a wee bit smelly, you know what I mean? But no fucking that way that they're pure rancid and everybody's no want to go to the toilet after, you know what I mean? Pure spraying air freshener every time they follow you about the place. So once the welding, once on the near miss welding, I got out of that, focused on the wrestling, and I smashing it. I think I'm a wee bit of diverse there, but so work hard chase your dreams, work hard chasing your dreams. If you've got a job you don't like, don't waste your time on it. No, I mean, obviously you need to pay the bills and that, but try and get something closer to what it is you're liking, because then eventually, if you just, it's the secret in it, that thing, power of positivity, man, manifesting, it'll end up happening. I mean, the amount of things I've actually said that I'm going to do that I didn't even realise is the power of that positivity thing, but I've ended up doing it because I've said it that much and I've made it into a place like the wrestling company, the Twitch stream that I'm doing now, the becoming a wrestler, having my own wee family that I love and adore. I mean, obviously ever since I came from a broken family, know what I mean? So obviously I've always wanted to have my own wee family, know what I mean? I've manifested that and all that, and all just these things. Maybe I didn't, but I didn't know I was manifesting at the time. But now that I'm sitting with them, I've realised here, because I read that book, The Secret and all. Now that after reading that, the amount of things that I've already realised that I manifested myself is mad, know what I mean? So if just work hard for the things that you're wanting to, work hard for your dreams and chase them, man. And if you do that, you'll be able to come out the other sides.
I mean, well, mate, I'm completely motivated by this, to be fair. Like, it really is unbelievable. I mean, I know you probably don't have much time to sit and think about all the stuff, but as you're saying, like, heeding it, I'm like, wow, this is, I've done a lot of podcasts with a lot of different people, and this kind of story is, I've never heard it like this before.
Thank you,
which says something, it says a lot. And that message you said about how maybe you used to be like, oh, I really, really want to get out of WWE, and then you realise like a greater purpose and showing anyone that you can come out of a bad place and make something of yourself. That'll have such a huge impact on people, like people with the schemes and all that can look up to you and say, if Ravie Davie can do it, I can do it.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing with us in Grado, obviously I said, right, if he can do it, I can do it. So I'm hoping there's people, because obviously I'm no built like a shipwreck house. I'm 6 foot tall, you know what I mean? Some people try and say I'm no 6 foot tall, but at the end of the day, I fucking measure myself with my measuring tape. I'm 6 foot right on the button. But anyway, so there's people like, he's a wee guy for a house in Govan, man. If he can do it, I can do it. And that's what I actually want people to think. You know what I mean? There's actually, since I got into wrestling, there's at least 10 people that became, like, got into wrestling training or started trying to become wrestlers because of me, basically the same thing that they told Grado. When they tell me, they go, I hope you don't think this cheeky. And I was like, mate, no, because obviously I don't find it cheeky, because that's what, I didn't find it cheeky when I said that about Grado, no, I mean, I just thought to myself, that's the way he's inspired me to do it. So if I inspire you to do it, it's brilliant. I'm happy about that. Just I know what you're saying. It sounds daft and all that you're saying about that, but it's like the Spider-Man saying it, the Uncle Ben thing, man. With great power comes great responsibility. When I got into this at first, man, I wanted to go to WWE. It was selfish, not. But now I kind of notice that there's people that see me as some mad hero, even though I'm just some mad steamer for Govan. Not I'm just a mad stoter that just enjoys myself, not I mean, just an overly confident guy, and because of that I feel like now I do need to try and help out and stuff like that, because there's like kids and that look up to me, like, and there are even people that have had harder, there's that thing, and all people say I've had a hard life, but there's always got to be people that have had harder lives than me, you know what I mean? And if there's people that have had a harder life than me that looks up to me and tries to get inspiration, then I hope I could I hope I can help them out, know what I mean? So that,
Yeah.
that they can obviously try and turn their life around like I've managed to do, because I know when I was in school, a lot of teachers used to tell me, man, when you're 16, you're going to either be dead in jail or a junkie, you know what I mean? One of the things happened, know what I mean? I'll let you guess what one it is. I don't really get into that, you know what I mean? That's a story for another time. But one of the things happened, so they were kind of right, but now these same teachers are asking me to come into Govan High and do assemblies and stuff like that and talk to the and that. And to be fair, I can't wait to go to do that and stuff, but just any time they ask me to do it, I'm always fucking busy, you know what I mean?
No, but I mean, they look up to you because you've came through so many things that people would really struggle with, and the fact you've done it all, like, you should be really proud of yourself, mate.
Oh, it's hard, isn't it, mate? I'm not really.
I just felt like, just when you were saying, like, I'm just a guy I've not done much, I'm like, I just wanted to say, listen to your story, you should be really proud of yourself.
It's one of the ones. I get what you're saying, mate. It's just that it's hard being proud of yourself. You know what I mean? Even though I have got a big ego, right, and I do think I'm all the shit in that sometimes. No, I do think I'm fucking the man in that. But it's just like being proud of yourself, man. It's just something that's. I don't think a lot of people do that. It's just a hard thing to do, man. Just like, oh, I'm proud of myself. It's just, I don't know. It just comes across as.
Yeah, it's a hard.
I don't know how to explain it. I'm not saying that you saying it to me. I really appreciate it. And that it makes me feel good. And that, but I'm just like going about and saying to people, I'm proud of myself. No, I mean, you'd be. Yeah. I don't know. It'd come across. I'm proud. To an extent, I'm proud of myself. My wee boy thinks I'm the best person. I'm obviously. I'm his stepdad. You know what I mean? But he wouldn't tell you that. You know what I mean? I'm basically he'd just tell you. Obviously, I'm David. You know what I mean? His best pal in the whole wide world. And that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, I inspire people. You know what I mean? To do stuff, and that's just. That's amazing. I'm proud of myself, obviously, but it's just I just also just see myself as. But that's obviously one of my big selling points. I'm not just that boy for the council and government. Know what I mean? I'm just Ravie Davie, the person that everybody knows somebody like me. Know what I mean? Everybody's got that lovable rogue that down the street that's always hustling to try and do something. Know what I mean? Always saying what's happening, trips and talking about everybody. Know what I mean? There's always somebody like me, and I think that's why these are so relatable. Know what I mean? There's always somebody like me in your scheme. So I don't want to. I know obviously there's people that say I think I'm famous. No, I don't think I'm famous. No, I mean, obviously I know I'm well recognised, but I don't think I'd ever see myself as famous. No, I mean, because like, no famous, maybe not famous, because obviously famous is just you could be infamous or not. Know what I mean? You don't need to do the stuff I'm doing to become famous either. Like, I wouldn't see myself as a celebrity. You know, some people that on that TikTok, some people end up with like 10, 15,000 followers, and I think they're celebrities already and stuff like that. I'll never think I'm a celebrity, know what I mean? I just think I would rather that's my branding, it's my gimmick, man. That I'm not the boy for the councils and government, boy for the scheme chasing his dream, know what I mean? So I don't want to be a celebrity, I just want to be myself, man.
I think the most important part of that is you're being yourself, mate. That's people lose track on things when they get big for things and do well with things, they just lose track of who they are, and you've maintained that the whole way through, and that in itself is something to be proud of. It's like, it's a hard thing because people say to me like, oh, they'll give me compliments about things, and I've always been not sure how to take them. Like I don't really feel comfortable with you saying that to me. But I think the more you realise it comes from the place of how they see you and what your story does for people, is that it does inspire people. It's inspired me today. So, you know, that is something to be really proud of. And to even, you know, you're talking about like manifesting stuff. See, even just a few weeks ago, I was in the hospital with pneumonia, and it was like, I wasn't really sure.
Glad you're alright.
I'm glad I'm alright, but I hadn't really done anything. I hadn't really done things. You know how like the day I posted that picture doing a workout? I hadn't really been doing things the way that I would want to do things. And see, for the past few weeks, just being back at the gym and just being focused on what I do. Like, so many things have opened up, it's unbelievable. See, even wrestling, like, I'm the same as you, mate. I've loved wrestling my whole life, but I became, like you said, the Santa Claus analogy was actually really good, because I sort of became distant from it through the fact that I knew that I couldn't do it.
So it was one of the ones you want to tease yourself kind of thing, basically.
I really wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it so much that it was so upsetting to realise that you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. But even just in the, like, I decided that when I came to the hospital that I was just going to go, right, I'm going to just go for everything that I want. And one of the things was wrestling. So I talked to Wolfgang and Dallas, and they got me in a ring, and it was amazing, mate. And
that's class, mate.
I spoke to Dallas yesterday, and I just told him I'm going to go for this, man. So it's exciting how things can just, see, if you just put your mind to it, it can just happen, mate. It just does manifest itself as long as you put work in.
Exactly, it's like obviously man, if you can't just turn around and go, I'm going to be a millionaire one day and then go home, sit in your house, pick your arse and fucking play a computer, know what I mean? Obviously that's not going to happen, know what I mean? But if you go there and go, I'm going to be a millionaire, you start working your arse off, you start looking fucking into investing your money into something like that, you start fucking, you know, I'd obviously, that's the one thing. I'm not exactly a motivational speaker. I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it sometimes. Know what I mean? But you get what I mean.
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
you basically, if you just sit about, if you can't manifesting isn't expect. Like some people think it's just saying something and you expect it to happen. No, you need to obviously put the graft in that. But if you tell yourself, like Conor McGregor was going to say, like, maybe not the best player to use because obviously he's getting a bit of controversy now. But Conor McGregor said since he was a wee guy, he was going to be a double champion, know what I mean? He was going to be a millionaire and double champion in the world and all that, and he ended up doing it, know what I mean? He manifested it. Fair dues, obviously. He lost the belts not that far out of it, but that's probably because he was just telling himself he's got to be a double champ. He wasn't telling himself he's got to defend him and all that as well, know what I mean? Just things like that, know what I mean? The amount of people that did it, know what I mean? The Rock as well has said when he only had £7 in his pocket and he's like, I'm going to be one of the most successful people in the world. Man, do you know he is literally the most famous person in the world? Arnold Schwarzenegger, know what I mean? Said he was got to be the strongest man in the world, most famous bodybuilder ever. What's happened? He's the most famous bodybuilder ever, know what I mean? But these people also put the hard work and the dedication into it, obviously, and that's just, to be fair, that's what I know. So that's one of the reasons I stopped smoking, because I stopped smoking at the start of the year, and that's just because I feel that I do work hard on it, but I feel like that was holding me back. I end up 4 hours of my day I'd end up be wasting on like smoking, know what I mean? Because it would like affect the gym and all that and stuff like that. So I've stopped that now. The day's my birthday, you know what I mean? 2 years till I turn 30, getting my arse back in the diet and that, and got to get myself back into the gym and stuff like that, and then hopefully put myself in a position to maybe one day get like maybe get into the WWE, or maybe get to AEW, or maybe even if it doesn't get me anywhere like that, maybe get myself into like Impact Wrestling or something like that. I mean, somewhere where I'll be on a telly in front of hundreds of people a week, thousands of people a week wrestling, know what I mean? That is
have you ever had the ICW bit, the world title?
Well, no, I've not had that. Obviously, that's what I want to do. And I want to become. I've not become a champion in ICW or know what I mean? But I'm doing
I'd love
this.
to see you beat Kez, mate. That'd be class.
But put it this way, man. Me versus Kez at Fear and Loathing this year would sell at the SWG3. I think.
I'll tell you what, I would buy a ticket for it.
But obviously I don't know what the plans are with ICW. But right now I'm not. But right now, obviously ICW, I lost that match with Theodoros, so ICW changed the rules a little bit. But Dallas is letting me be me still, and they let scheme rules. And this is just basically a new idea where I've been fighting in the streets all my life, so they don't want me getting in wrestling under rules. You know what I mean? So I'm still getting my matches. They're going to be under no rope breaks, no count outs, falls count anywhere, weapons allowed, all that kind of stuff. And it's obviously working the for us. Know what I mean? I won my first match under it, and the second match will go in the WWE for it. I can't spoil anything, but it was a good match. Know what I mean? Enjoyed myself, and that's what I was saying. It's to get, obviously, it's one of the ones in the state. Like I've not had any titles in that in ICW, but obviously I'm at the stage where like a storyline like this. Know what I mean? This is basically like having your own title kind of thing. Know what I mean? Obviously your own storyline, your own rules and stuff like that. Obviously, I know I did like ICW. That's always been one of my goals, to get the belts and that. And they're not. I mean, obviously I want to be the top. That's one of the things that just, if I don't make it anywhere. And if I don't make it to WWE, AEW, Impact, I kind of, because one of the ones I know, right, I'm no daft, I'm no, like, to get to WWE, you need to basically be cookie cutter all your life. You can't swear online or anything like that. You need to be like a pure goody two shoes, and I've never been like that, know what I mean? So there's a good chance I might never get to WWE, and I'm not really heartbroken about it, know what I mean? That's something I've came to terms with, but I still think I should give myself the best chance of doing it, know what I mean? So I should get into a bit better, I should get into a much better shape, get back to wrestling training that a bit more. I know I've not been, it's not that I've not been gone, but I've just not been able to go as much because I've been that busy and stuff like that. I need to start making more time for my wrestling training, because obviously that's the number one thing. At the end of the day, I still want to be, as a wrestler, I want to be more than that. I like TikTok, I like Twitch and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to be a professional wrestler. I mean, that's my goals and my dreams and stuff like that. So I just want to give myself a better chance of that. But even if at the end of the day, if I don't get a big contract, I know that I'll be able to be one of the biggest wrestlers in ICW for the next 10 years coming, know what I mean? If I just keep working hard, I'll be the ICW World Champion one day, I'll be the ICW 0G Champion one day, know what I mean? I know these things are things that are in my future, but I just need to do it. That's one of the reasons I know I've stopped smoking. No, obviously I said that, but the most reason I stopped smoking is so that when I'm got to ICW, I'm 100% focused, know what I mean? I'm concentrating on the stuff I'm doing in there, and I'm not going outside and smoking my like, smoking my wee brains out, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Like just no concentrating
You're
on
not
that.
focused. Aye.
No focus on that. So now I'm doing that, and I do think I'll be ICW champion in say 2-3 years. But
Definitely.
if I'm no, it'll
Well-
not be for lack of trying.
Well, like you say, regardless of the results, right? It's about doing, like, being the best you can be for yourself, mate. It doesn't need to be for anyone else.
Aye.
So you can look back on it and go, I really gave that everything I could, and you become to the level you want to be at. You know what I mean? I think that's people get too. Something I've really noticed about it as well is I used to be like, what about these goals I've got a year from now, or how am I going to look 6 months from now? If I keep doing the gym, I'll look great in 6 months. It's like, no, you need to look at it like day to day. How can I make the most of each day and sort of like keep yourself focused on the wee things?
Aye,
You know what I mean?
definitely. I know that's the thing I always need. I'm actually always quite bad for. I'm always good for the grand scheme of things, the big grand plans, man. But you're actually right. You need to set out your goals, your wee small goals as well, your wee small targets. That's the thing my girlfriend does a lot. She's got a wee to-do list. She writes it every day and all that. And she always, by the end of the day, it's all ticked off. Not I mean, it's all wee mini goals and stuff like that. So that's something I probably should get more used to doing, like my short-term goals instead of my long-term ones. Because whenever I did, it's because I smashed my long-term goals. Not I mean, so if I started putting my energy into short-term goals, I'd probably smash them as well. But just always, it's one of the ones. I feel like I'm too busy, but I'm seeing that I was always too busy because of smoking. Not I mean, now that I'm after smoking, I'm starting to make more time for myself and that, and do more things that I want to do. Like I said, obviously the training in this island's been shut for the last 3 weeks because of COVID and that. Opening up back next week. Unfortunately, actually, we'll not be able to. No, they're opening back up the night. I'm night shift tonight, so I'll not be able to make it the night. And then next week, it's the week before payday, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to be able to afford to go up there. Let's call a spade a spade. I've never been monthly paying my life, you know what I mean? And obviously I got my first ever time at the SNHS job I get paid in December on Christmas Eve, and then obviously 5 weeks later, so my money's probably got to be a bit dried next week, so I'm not be able to make training then. But then after that, February, I'm just going to be bang, 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 bang. I'm going to probably go more than once a week, not I mean, just to make up for the time that I've lost, and I'm just going to focus on getting solid, not I mean. The night's the last night, drinking fizzy drink, not I mean, that was just that focus on one thing at a time. I got half of smoking, now I need to get half of fizzy juice, and then by the end of the month I'll be eating healthy and all that again, and hopefully by the end of the year I'm solid and I'm going to all these different things I want to do.
Well, it's exciting to see what you're going to do next week and see. I just wanted to touch on that. When you were talking about Grado and stuff before, I noticed that was when you mentioned how you turned heel and you kind of didn't enjoy that very much. I noticed that the food you had was with Grado.
Aye.
And I was like, as you were saying on that, like, what was that like for you? That must have been an experience.
But that was the only good. That was the only good part of the full heel run. I mean, honestly, that was the only enjoyable part of it. The rest, it was just shite and bone. Obviously, I know it was like because the heel thing was stop start. Not I mean, to be fair, because obviously they had the heel thing, Dallas Mavericks and that. And the actual plan was meant to be that eventually. I don't know if this has been said. I don't know if I should say it, to be fair, but fuck it. It's a podcast and it's just for learning wee tidbits. Basically, I was joined the Dallas Mavericks, me, Joe Hendry, Leighton and Kez, and eventually we were going to have Hartle join us as well, you know what I mean? Lionheart was going to join us, obviously, and Dallas was the heel boss. But then eventually, obviously, what happened, Lionheart passed away. So that kind of threw that up in smoke, and then I was meant to wrestle Red Lightning. Eventually he got injured again, so couldn't wrestle him. So obviously all the plans that are all for me, they were still starting. So I ended up wrestling Sam Barber again at Shug's Fist Party, you know what I mean? He was like replaced Red Light. And then eventually all that happened. But then I started getting the feud with Grado. That was good, obviously. I enjoyed that. Leading up to Fear and Loathing, obviously that was one of the marquee matches. So that was good, obviously. I enjoyed that. And Grado was being, that's what I'm saying, I love Grado to bits, man. You'd think, right, when I started wrestling, not a lot of guys liked the fact that I was making these funny videos and I was getting a lot of opportunities quick. Not I mean, guys that had been out the door 10, 15 years, like, how the fuck's this wee dick getting opportunities that fucking I've never had the chance to get? And it's because 10 years ago when you started wrestling, the world was different, man. You know what I mean? Now it's a big social media world and stuff like that. And fucking, you need to obviously, if something happens where somebody's getting momentum, you're better off riding it, you know what I mean? So obviously there's a lot of guys that didn't like me, let's just be honest. There's a lot of guys that didn't like me, probably still don't like me, but fuck them. No, I mean, at the end of the day, I've not done anything to harm them. I've not done anything to harm anybody in wrestling. No, I mean, they don't like me. It's just jealousy. It's plain and simple. No, I mean, I've started coming to terms with that now. Used to think to myself, well, always, have I done something wrong? But now I've just realised these guys are just jealous of me. No, I mean, they just don't. They're gutted that they've no got the social media boom or anything like that. No, I mean, that they're just having to do their own thing, and it's no work for them or whatever. So at the end of the day, as I said, I don't really bother, but I used to work myself up for it.
Wrestling politics, mate.
Aye. So, what was I thinking? Aye, but so obviously that's what I'm trying to say. I was getting mixed up with my ADHD, man. Sometimes I end up going one way, and I end up the other way. But but you think the one person, right? The two people actually that should probably no care about this wee scruffy Dick McCallum who is coming in, doesn't he? Fucking. Instead of saying hi, how you doing, he's saying what's happening to us, and instead of shaking hands with everybody, he's grabbing them with the hands, pulling them in for cuddles and all that stuff like that. No, I mean, just this, no, quite. Obviously, I've still been respectful to people, but I just do stuff a wee bit different. No, I mean, for schemes of government, no, I mean, I'm no fucking. I wasn't kidding about the cat. I was only kidding about the four corners on my days of you guy, not I mean, what so I was just kidding about the schemes of government. Just stuff like that. So I was just different. No, I mean, that's what Noam Dar used to always say about. He's like, you're different, man. You're not like all the wee gossip. You're a bit of a boy, not your son boy, all that stuff. But obviously, so the two guys that you probably wouldn't think would give me the time of day. Drew and Grado, the two biggest wrestlers in Scottish wrestling history, were the two guys that for day one heavy loved me and pushed for me and fucking gave me all the time of the day in the world. Not I mean, like Heavy was always, like Drew would always give me feedback in my matches and stuff like that. He wouldn't be scared to tell me when I was fucking being shite. But he also would big me up and on. I mean, if I'd done something good, he'd tell me he really liked it. No, I'd watch my online stuff and that. No, I mean, just stuff like that. Doug Galloway, obviously, at the time, he was telling me, not I mean, because I know, but obviously when I used to watch wrestlers, when he came on, I was buzzing off him. Not I mean, it sounds like I'm sucking up his arse, man. But when he was in WWE at first, he just became my favourite wrestler because he was Scottish. No, I mean, I'm a heavy Braveheart. That you know what I mean, love Scotland. Like, I'd rather see Scotland win a World Cup than see Celtic win a Champions League. You know what I mean, I'm just that way. Just Scotland, first and foremost. I was born Scottish. You know what I mean, just love Scotland to bits. Scotland is my favourite thing in the world. So seeing Drew in the WWE, that was like amazing to me. I was like, no way, a Scottish guy in the WWE. This is yes, man. Fucking, I was buzzing off it. So obviously then to have Drew come and telling me he's watched my videos, not he's watched my matches. I'm like, fire right, man, not in pure starstruck. And then obviously you get grade one also. Obviously before I started my training to be a wrestler, right, there was a show in Govan, in the PI, I can't remember who's running it, I think it was SWA. And Grado was there, so I'm like, I'm getting to do that, no, I mean, I'm going to go and see that fucking big mark, no, I mean, took my it's yourself, signed all that, doing whatever, right? Half time photos, a fiver. I'm like, I'm gonna get my picture with Grado. Paid a fiver. Went up to him. I was like, big man, me and you, I'm training to be a wrestler on Sunday. One day, me and you got a team together. And we're gonna be a tag team called D-Generation Gregs. So we're training. A year later in the SCCC, me and Grado teamed up as D-Generation Gregs.
No way, that's
at Comic Con. Not I mean, and obviously he always remember that. He always buzzes off and all. Like, he used to like see when we'd go on like tours and stuff like that. Grado would be like, Davie, show him that message, because obviously after I sent him a message or his personal page, like, remember big man, D-Generation Gregs, it's got to happen and that. And he'd always be like, so he'd say to Shar, all his pals, like Shar, like, David, show him that, not me, show him that message, like, show him. Like, see, that's what I'm saying, Grado for day one, he's buzzing that, so I end up having that feud. And obviously, I don't know, I think it might be, obviously he always looks out for us and that stuff, but I also think at the time, me and Grado were in a feud, Grado was also started going with a lassie who had a wedding, so he's obviously like becoming a stepdad technically, not I mean, just like I'm a stepdad. So I think one of the reasons he was getting us into the asylum and we were like going through stuff and all that, not I mean, which I don't imagine Grado does that with everybody, not I mean, no thing, I mean, but I think one of the reasons he was out because he was asking me a lot of questions of how I like being a stepdad and stuff like that, and I think that was him obviously trying to figure that side of things. So he's helped me with the wrestling, but also try to figure it. I don't know, maybe that's just me talking shit, to be fair. No. I mean, don't need to quote me, but I think maybe he was getting me into obviously trying to figure out how hard's it being a stepdad. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
I mean, they obviously seen something in you, man.
And but I just said to Chris, I was like, mate, don't worry, mate, you'll be a class stepdad, mate, honestly, because that's one of the reasons I'm such a big stepdad, because I'm just such a big idiot, just like yourself, mate. No, I'm just a big fun-loving dafty man that just always has a laugh. Not I mean, and then the wee lass ended up coming in. He stepdaughter, man, and he's hilarious, man. He was just so good with her and stuff like that. So that was that's what I'm saying. So Grado took me in, but Grado took me into the asylum and we were going through the match and stuff like that for the one in Fear and Loathing, or the one in the garage. And we loved it, I mean, the two of us had a pure laugh in that, and that's what I'm saying. I don't imagine Grado would do that for a lot of people, but he's went and done it for me, you know what I mean? That helped me so much, you know what I mean, obviously, like, because I was heavy and not enjoying the heel stuff, and he was just saying, it's just do it, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your gimmick to be getting, like, he didn't like it when he was heel either, I don't think. Just like, just do it, man, because eventually you'll be backface and you'll be enjoying yourself again. They'll probably notice that you're better at doing that. One of the ones, obviously, I don't get to decide what I do in wrestling, but see if I never need to be a heel again in wrestling in my life, that would be quality. I fucking don't like it, man. Shite. One of the ones, man. It's hard and all, but no, because obviously I always get quite right. So I'm like, so it was just shite. I wasn't making, because you're like, you know what I mean? I make my funny videos and all that and stuff like that, man. If you're my heel, you can't really be, maybe you can, but I wasn't making my funny videos and stuff like that. It was just boring.
You didn't feel yourself, and I totally get that. Like, see what you're saying about wanting to help people for certain situations. For me, it's like not having ever seen anything in a wheelchair have a wrestling match or something like that. And part of me is like, I'd love to get booed at the building, mate, like, because it's like you're always this pure inspirational guy and all that. And I would just love to like be the guy that it's like everyone wants to cheer, but they're booing instead because I'm just being such a dick about it. Like, you know?
Definitely.
So it's like,
well, that's if you wanted to be a heel as a wrestler, mate, that's actually something. Like, see if you actually ever manage, like, if you did manage to do, which as we're talking about, mate, if you put your fucking 100% in, there's no reason to stop you.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do it.
I'd fucking 100% believe you, man. But that's what I'm saying. See if you want to be a heel, all you need to turn around and say is, all yous smelly, stinking idiots, come here to pay tickets. You want to be a wrestler, know what I mean? And I bet you right now you're raging because somebody like me who you probably think shouldn't be doing it is in here there. Because that's what I think. I get annoyed because I'm the Ned. I mean, I think when I was a heel, they all didn't like that. As a heel, I was getting booed and all that because obviously I was still trying to do my job, know what I mean? But I think a lot of them didn't like it because obviously you're a wee edgy, you shouldn't be into wrestling and stuff like that. So obviously if you were there, that's the thing you could say. Your selling point is, yous all would love to be wrestlers, but yous are all too lazy to do it, know what I mean? Stuff like that. Anybody can do this, no, this is these kind of things like that, obviously. Exactly. So if you wanted to be a heel, mate, you'd be able to smash that, to be fair.
Mate, but we'll have one of those screen fights in no time, mate.
No, definitely.
I'll be bleeding for you and shit, mate. I want this face, man. You'll be putting me through a table in no time.
If you're into it, mate, I'll put you through a table, no bother.
As long as you take the pin, mate, I'm fine. Better put me over. I can say to people, like, it's discrimination if you don't put me over, mate, you know that? Like,
Top of me, I've got ADHD, man. It's discrimination if I don't deliver.
No, but listen, oh man, this has been one of the best podcasts we've ever done, man. I can't believe.
Oh, I would like, mate, to be fair, like the last couple of days, man, I've been on a few trying to promote this band to slot. This has definitely been my most enjoyable one. No offence to any about the other guys' podcasts I've done, know what I mean? But just this has been a different vibe. I've really enjoyed myself, know what I mean? I really have.
And I really appreciate you being like really open and honest about all this stuff. Like, I know it's difficult to talk about sometimes, but it makes a difference to people seeing the real side of people. It can help a lot of people with that kind of thing. And you know, the last podcast we done, it definitely got very emotional in this room. So to see you do that as well was quite good for me to see.
Aye. Well, to be fair, man, I don't know if you've seen the video the other day. Obviously, my mum came out in suicide. I'm a very emotional person, and for that reason, I don't ever bottle up. For the simple reason is, my ma probably bottled up her emotions. Not I mean that's how she probably did end up doing what she done. So I've always been a big greeter. The way I say it, real men cry. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen the video the other day, but my missus got me my girlfriend got me a picture. Basically made me, my mum and my nana. Obviously I've not got a picture with the two of them, know what I mean? So she's like, my missus couldn't hold my water, know what I mean? It was meant to be for my birthday today, but obviously she wanted to give me it last week. So she's gave me it, and obviously I've ended up opening up, man. I've just straight away looked at her just in tears, man, floods of tears. The wedding's cuddling me and all that. I'm like, fucking hell. She's like, do you like it? I'm like, fucking love it. It's the best present ever. Just because obviously it meant so much to me, know what I mean? Just the two women that obviously brought me into this world and raising up, man. And the one before, it's something that I'd never thought I'd ever have. Not in a picture with them, and obviously I've got that now. I just hung up my wall, and I love it. That's what I'm saying. I'm a very emotional person. I don't think nobody should ever bottle up their feelings. Not I mean, see if you just have a sit and have a wee good greet, man. It's nothing better than that. You feel so much better after it. Bore myself that part there. But nothing better than a good wee greet, man. Honestly, you're not vulnerable. Know what I mean? You're showing that you're a real human being. Know what I mean? You're showing that you're no talking shit. Basically, put it this way: see if you let out your emotions, you're showing that you're not a liar, man. Because real people do have emotions and cry and stuff like that. And maybe not lie, that's a bit strong. I mean, there's probably people out there really bad with their mental health and stuff like that who obviously don't like greeting that because they think it makes them feel weak. No, I don't mean it that way, but I'm just saying that people do like if you cry, if you show your emotions, you will cry. It just shows the genuine person inside. It shows you who you really are, I'd say.
I couldn't agree more, mate. There's no weakness in it whatsoever, and I commend you for it, man. No, listen, this has been a great experience, and just hearing your story, because I did obviously know all that stuff, but I thought we'd better asking you to put it the way you would rather put it, rather than me try to rehash it. But I really appreciate you coming on and sharing all those stories with me. And there was a couple of things we didn't even cover. I was going to ask you your dream wrestling match. Like, if you got to pick anyone at any scenario in any stage, what would it be?
Shawn Michaels.
Obviously, mate.
Greatest of all time.
Totally agree with that.
Greatest of all time.
Mate,
so my two dream matches, right, would be like, for anybody in the past, like Shawn Michaels, just because he's my favourite wrestler, or Cactus Jack in a Hell in a Cell match, because obviously he's my second favourite wrestler, and that's the reason. See, obviously I do all the hardcore stuff and all that. That's because I loved Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley, and that is one of the best wrestlers ever. And obviously as well, with him, so obviously I love Shawn Michaels to bits, but if you look at a picture of me and Shawn Michaels next to each other, you probably wouldn't be able to use, no, I mean, you still like, who, like, you get it's not, I mean, one's definitely the athlete, and one's that just, you stop. But if you put a picture next to me and Mick Foley, you know what I mean, people like, oh, the two of them, they're quite similar, they're just two guys, you know what I mean? So obviously, like me and Mick Foley would be able to do some class stuff. If it was somebody they knew, it needs to be, I need to give a shout out to my good mate John Cena who follows me on Twitter. No, I mean, I'd have to pick John Cena.
John Cena follows you on Twitter.
Aye, mentor.
Listen, John Cena, I hope John Cena listens to this, mate.
Fingers crossed, mate. I'll definitely tag one on TikTok, on Twitter for you.
The actual, when I was doing the wrestling with Wolfgang, I done a AA off the shoulders. Like, I did that, and it was, I couldn't believe, because he was like, if you can do it with me on your shoulders, you can do it with anything.
Aye, definitely.
And when I done it with him, he was like, I think we may have something here. I was like, oh, good.
Wolfie's actually quite, Wolfie's actually really light, you know what I mean? He looks massive. He's no light, you know what I mean? But he knows how, Wolfie's so good at what he does, man. He knows how to pull, he knows how to do everything right, man. Wolfie's one of the...
I couldn't believe it, mate. I was like, this is actually alright. This is great.
Wolfie's brilliant, man. Wolfie's still a big way when it comes to wrestling. I feel like a lot of guys maybe lost their passion and stuff like that. Wolfgang, no man, he loves it. He'll be in the ring when he's 60, man, 100%, definitely. He'll be like flaring. Not because of money issues, not because of money reasons, like just because he fucking loves wrestling, man. He's mad for it.
No, see, being in there and doing that, it was like I should have been doing it my whole life. You know what I mean? It was like just such a great feeling, and he was the best guy being there.
Oh no, mate, Wolfgang, like I don't care what anybody says, Wolfgang's the best guy that's ever coached me in wrestling, mate. I couldn't no offense to any of the other guys, but Wolfgang he just loves it so much. No, I mean, it's so hangweed and that he's just so helpful. And it doesn't matter who you are or what he's always just want to help you so much. No, I mean, like for example, he'll get Wolfgang gets so he'll be watching. See when the ICW shows are on, he's got a live feed to it. Where they're getting recorded and that, and he'll text you after it and give you like, your feedback and that, and your matches, stuff like that, even if you don't ask him, you know what I mean, he'll still send you, which is good. I know that I don't ask him, because the first time he sent me, I didn't know he does it, I didn't know he could do it. Now I ask him every time, you know what I mean, because obviously it's a good way to obviously learn and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and he's obviously in the WWE learning after some of the best. So by Wolfgang, obviously there are guys like BT Gunn, Adrian, that when he was alive, they're all good coaches, not know what I mean, but just Wolfgang's just a step above everybody in my eyes, not one of the best ever, and probably the best coach in this country. I'm sure
he would very much appreciate that, and after training with him, I can see exactly what you mean, because I've had the door shut me a couple of times, and he was like, "No, I want to do this with you."
No, definitely, so fantastic.
That meant a lot to me. So, no, he's definitely a great guy, and so are you, mate. And before we wrap up, you get two shows coming up, right? So for the people that have watched this all the way through, you get a show on the 28th.
28th of January, Bams to the Slaughter, Celebrity Juice meets Jackass meets Frankie Boyle / Kevin Bridges / any other Scottish comedian that's really good. Just going to be like a panel show of pure madness and debauchery. And it's going to be £10 a ticket. It's over 18s, obviously. Last week, actually, 2 14-year-old lasses in the show at Crows Road, and like, can we get tickets or bands? I was like, no, obviously he's carry, he's need to be 18 years old, and they were pure gutted, and I was like, sorry ladies, man, Look, can you not tell it's an over 18? That's my own fault for no marketing as such. Whatever. I did actually I did market as such, but you know what I mean? Just because I'm promoting on TikTok a lot, probably a lot of the veins are thinking, no.
Aye.
That's the one thing, TikTok's not a veins app. People need to read the terms and conditions. It's for 13 plus. I know that's still young, obviously, but it's a teenager's app, even though they last for 14, you know what I mean? So I'm talking shit here. Anyway, but I digress. Bamstead Slaughter, 28th of January, £10 a ticket. Mona Lang for one of the wildest nights ever. Because see when we're in the Hydro in 5 years doing this, in 5 years time running a show in the Hydro, you're going to want to say you were at the first one, aren't you? So get your arse along it, don't miss history, and that's what's happening, troops. Obviously, second one and all, Community Pro Wrestling. This has got to be the second show I've done for my own wrestling company, Community Pro Wrestling. It'll be on the 25th of February. It's going to feature me and my cousins Andy, the Govan team, Leighton Buzzard, Anastasia, Jason Reed's going to be there, so Jason Reed wrestling and Govan for the first time. I think that's going to be spicy. He's actually against Leighton Buzzard in a match. They're going to have the Handsome Man's Club, Sam Barber, Luke Cairo, Levi Justice. There's going to be Thatcher's Cabinet, the Maggie Thatcher party, I'll call them. Who else? Big Ross, Darrow, a lot of guys.
It's a great lineup, mate. It's a great lineup for sure.
It's one of the ones I'm trying to do. We're just trying to do something a wee bit different. I mean, because obviously Scottish wrestling is obviously very diverse, but I don't feel like a lot of people get their opportunities and stuff like that. So I'm starting to give opportunities to guys that I've come up with that I think deserve to put the spotlight on them. For example, in the last show you had Ross and you had Big Ross. No, I mean I gave him his open challenge thing, and then he came out versed a boy that's never wrestled before, Spider Bam. That's actually my pal from when he was younger. Spider Bam got probably the biggest reaction that wasn't a Govan team member that night. All the crowd went mental for him. Then we had then after that, the bad guys all came out, they started getting wide, and we ended up with Darrow, Big Ross, and Spider Bam in a tag match against Bruto Royale, I think their name is. It was a Casino Brutal. One of the two. They changed their name. They used to be called Smashing Bros, and then they changed their name. I mean, I've got bad memory. But they two in HD Drake, no, I mean, that's probably a match you'd never see before. No, I mean, probably never would have seen if I didn't put it on. And the boys all smashed it, no, I mean, had a heavy belt. The faith I put in these boys, they went and knocked it out the park, no, I mean, and it's stuff like that makes me. That's the one thing I know, obviously. I know I'm just getting into my thing. I'm sorry if I'm heavy taking up your time, know what I mean? But just see when I was younger, Rossi, obviously when I go to these wrestling figures, I think I used to tell you, so I would go to these wrestling figures. I used to have all my wrestling figures out, right? Me and my cousins Andy would draft them, no, I would have our wrestler, I'd have my show, he'd have his show. I used to have notepads worth of storylines that I would just write out with all these wee wrestlers and I'd play them myself, know what I mean? And now getting to actually do that in real life is mind blowing, man, it's amazing. So that's in Community Pro Wrestling is quite storyline orientated, man, but I don't really mind that because even if the people that are watching, I don't feel like it's hard to explain. Like, a lot of people tell you today storylines for family shows because the veins might not get it and all that, but the adults get it, not I mean, it's the adults that are taking them back. So if the adults are invested in the story, they're going to take the veins back. Yeah, they're the ones that
take the veins. And I totally agree. Like when I'm watching wrestling storylines, or what keep me like. But if there's not a good storyline in it, I can't watch it.
Well, the main thing there's no so, but so what's happened? Right, the Fairfield Club got done up in. During the lockdown, it turns out Thatcher Wright was the person that put the money towards that. So he came out and he's told me that he has to, if I don't give him 50% of his company, because he knew as the head board member of the Fairfield Club, if I don't give him 50% of my company, I would have had to have cancelled the show. And obviously it'd be one of the first shows after COVID and all that. I just had to do that. I gave him the 50% because I'm like, I'd rather have wrestling on than no have it on. So that's basically, obviously we're going to see where that goes and stuff like that. It's not, I mean, we've got things like that lined up.
Sounds like it could get spicy with that.
Nah, it could. Obviously, I've also at all the company UCW had their tag team up to defend their titles against me and Xander. Me and Xander actually managed to win it. So don't know what's going to happen with that in the future. We'll defend them against the Handsome Man's Club on the next show. Hopefully, we should beat them. Not I mean, but you never know what could happen.
Well, if you need a manager, give us a shout, mate.
Oh, mate, if you want to do it, mate, I can definitely. Once you've had a bit more of the old bumping.
I've got some work to put in, but I'll get there, mate.
I'll get you on, mate, definitely. 100%.
I'll give it a shout in a few months and see where I'm at.
No, mate, definitely, man. I'd like to come in and see you. If Wolf ever says you need an extra body, come and help you, man. I'd happily come in and take bumps for you, that, know what I mean?
Let's get you to know, mate. I'm meeting him again in a couple of weeks, so I'll give you a shout, mate.
Let him know that I'm happy to bump a boot for you. I actually did know, obviously inspiring, all that stuff. The wee guy, Stephen Pryor, man, turns out my boy that I grew up with, right, used to be my mate, but I wouldn't really like to call him mate anymore because he's fell into the wrong habits and stuff like that, right? No mean a dick, but then like, but his wee bra, has seen me on TikTok and that, and now he's seen me. He's actually starting to get training well for 1-to-1s, and it's funny, obviously, it was like, anybody in mind you like to train with? And he's like, Ravie Davie, and obviously, I was like, well, don't you could pick Ravie Davie because he didn't know that he knew me, not I mean. He's like, aye, David said he would date with me, not I mean. David, obviously, like, I know David, not because I didn't say him. I was like, if you need somebody to want about for you, well, not. So I went in with Lance. I actually meant to go in last week with my mum. I feel like I need to actually get a hod the wee guy and find out when we're going again. But I took my elbow after the last set of tapings, man. I'd fucking, it's like me, I'm trying to obviously get my body fucking into the best condition I can. So I didn't want to go in and bump my boot and end up hurting myself even more and then maybe fuck myself for like stuff coming up. But so I went in with him the first time, but sorry. I went in with him for the first time and the wee guy was really, yeah, he's really good, man. And like, he could definitely go into the 8-week course and smash it, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's one person that I've already inspired on to do it, you know what I mean? Like my pal Spider-Bam, I said inspired him to do it. Cousin Zand inspired him to do it. Magic Dave, I chatted to his door one time, I was doing charity fundraising, he came out with Rey Mysterio mask. Now he's training to be a wrestler, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's just, I've inspired a lot of people, man. It's just like, it just makes you feel good about yourself, you know what I mean? And like, it sounds daft, but my full life, I've not had a lot to feel good about, you know what I mean? So now that in life I've actually got stuff to feel good about, it's brilliant, man. It makes all these life-changing things that you do worth it, you know what I mean? All these things that all these sacrifices and stuff, it makes them all worth it, you know what I mean? You've got people telling you that you are the man, basically, that you're class, you know what I mean? People tell you you're class or you're brilliant, that, and it makes you feel good, you know what I mean?
There's nothing bad for that, mate. I mean, honestly, I can't praise you enough for it. And man, this has been amazing, absolutely amazing. That's a great point to finish on as well, I feel like. And I just want to say happy birthday again, mate.
Oh,
hope you have a good day. We have a cake for you. You can take that away, mate. The caterpillar cake. Show off the cake.
Oh, these will be got at the wee man. Love them.
I love them.
Oh, totally capper. So I'll probably have another one of these in the house because obviously I said my stepma works in.
There you go, mate. Calling the caterpillar.
Buzzing, but that one's obviously the one that's getting shared. This one's getting a nice cup of tea, man, and getting it at the night, man. My bed for my dinner.
Well, no, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, mate. And this has been an absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, man.